Hey guys!
Hello!
Welcome back. This is story time. So, for those who may not remember me, I'm Jasmine, one half of Brown Bama Girls. This is my sister.
Hello, Megan. Some call me Gabby.
Gabby. She's the other half of the Brown Bama Girls. So, very quickly, I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but a very small recap. So, if you've turned into our TikTok, you've already saw a little bit of my background, my specifically, nothing to do with Megan just yet, or Gabby just yet. My background in dating, we really want to use this platform to speak about lessons in life, right? Maybe dating, things that we learn, because we are two Brown Bama girls from Alabama who have picked up and moved to Georgia. So the transition for us has been
long
and tedious, to say the least. So we have a lot of experience, but the reason why I wanted to start with this story is because this story is my last relationship that happened about 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And it is the culmination kind of everything
crazy
that I've been through, right? So I started with this story so you guys kind of know where I am in my life now, and then I may trickle back for some story times to the previous relationships. We can pray about those. I'm not here to prove a point. I am not here to prove anybody wrong. This is solely my experience. If you don't believe me and you have other opinions, like Asian Doll says, I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. Okay, so feel free to give it. Well, I'm just saying, it's my experience. Only I can speak on my experience. If you would like to experience it for yourself, he is online. Feel free to reach out. I'm sure he will need a place to stay in about 6 months. All right, sister. All right. So I had already told you guys kind of how he jumped into my inbox. I was traveling in Charlotte, and he had dropped some breadcrumbs that he had been contracted at a hospital. He wanted to make plans for Friday and Saturday. So we're going to start to our first date. So our first date was in the beautiful city of Lithonia, Georgia, at a beautiful club called The Bomb. It's ratchet as hell.
So elegant.
Yeah, it was very elegant. We met there at night. I went, plain Jane, because I'm pretty. She doesn't need to do a lot. Okay. So I wanted to make sure he got to know me for me. So I come in plain clothes. He comes in scrubs.
Laying the foundation.
That's right. Laying the foundation. Yeah. Okay. So he's met me there in his scrubs at the bar and has his name embroidered. So he, very charming. Okay. But first, before we get there, can we say this? We had talked like via message, but we never talked like FaceTime, right?
Okay.
So when we talked FaceTime, do you remember the concern I brought up to you?
Oh, yeah. So his teeth were really bad. And I remember her telling me, like, oh, he has, like, bad teeth. And I'm thinking, bad teeth, like, you can fix... Well, I'll just say I hadn't seen him. So.
Right. She hadn't seen him. And also, teeth is a family thing.
Yeah. We're, like, big
on, like, my
teeth.
Grandmother was big on teeth.
And, like, shoes. Like,
shoes and teeth.
Yeah. So... I did say to her, I was like, Mom always used to say, you can't fix personality, but you can fix other things. So I was like, if his teeth are the only thing, like, you can work with him on fixing teeth.
Teeth can be fixed.
They can be fixed. It might take a long time, but they can do it.
They can do it.
And
some surgery, but it can be fixed. To people exactly how they are. I'm far from perfect.
Yeah.
I'm amazing, but not perfect. Okay.
All about self-love today.
Yeah, all about self-love. So I don't judge anybody for their flaws and imperfections, what their history may be. Everybody's had parents, had insurance, could get braces, right? So we let the teeth slide.
Yeah.
Okay, we let the teeth slide. So I go meet him. He's in his scrubs, and he says he's called his sister.
Right.
And he hadn't seen his sister since he graduated from med school, the chief resident.
Right.
For urology.
Right.
So again, here comes in the sister. Again, don't know her, right? And I am here, he's bigging it all up, like, I never bring any girls in here.
Right.
My sister's never met anybody. Like,
that's always to me like the first flag.
It should. I feel special. What girl wouldn't feel special? So, and the sister, she seemed really nice. She was looking at his scrubs. He said that she hadn't seen him since graduation. So it was a good time.
Yeah.
I had fun. We had great conversation. We vibed. He knew everybody at the bar, right? So everybody was super nice. They were talking to him. He was introducing me. So
I mean, that's good though. Like, especially like when you think about, not good, but I'm just saying he was really building himself of like, see, I am who I am.
Absolutely. You know, people were coming up to us. Hey, Kai. Like, they knew him. So who am I to question who you are?
That he's not who he is.
Right? Not a big deal. So after that, he's calling me and we're having great conversation.
Yeah.
Amazing conversation. Great conversation. Go bowling. Maybe a couple weeks later, a week later, and that was cute. You know, he dressed up nice and all that type of stuff. And again, bad teeth, but when I say dressed immaculately.
He did dress nice. I will say that. He did dress nice.
Dressed immaculately, like nice pea coat, nice shoes, just always dressed to the nines, which again, for me, super impressed. I was very attracted. I love a man who can dress. Because I'm tennis shoes, t-shirt type girl.
Yeah, she is.
So thought it was super cute.
But I mean, when did he move in? Because I feel like that happened really fast.
Okay, so I was 38, 39 at the point at that time. So I'm not 20. At that stage in my life, I felt like I needed to run. So I, you know, am pouring myself into him and telling him, you know, everything about me and kind of giving him my all. What actually happened is that, and I found this off of, or heard of this from Love Dorsey, trauma bonding. So trauma bonding is when someone gets with you and you bond based on a familiar trauma. So my mother passed of cancer in 2007. My sister lost our parents very, very early.
Yeah.
So these are things that, again, if you know me and you're on my Instagram, these are things that I share. Okay, so my daughter, I chose adoption for. Again, that's another story time. And then, you know, these are all things that I share. I'm open with my life. Like, it's not a big deal to me. That's just how I am. You can't use me against me because I'm open. I'll tell you what it is. So clearly he had been studying my Instagram.
Well, let's though tell about what he said though, because I really think that he kind of like was watching you,
He was definitely watching.
Jasmine is a serial monogamer. Like, she loves being in relationships. I love to date. I'm sorry, I love to date.
I love to date.
And so, and I mean, I do want to be in love, but I like to date. So anyway, you know, of course, like most people, did Bumble, and yes. And so he, I guess after time, was like, oh, I matched with your sister, on Bumble. But I never met her. We never like talked or something. Correct. And because I don't remember him.
Right.
And so, but you know, if you guys are on Bumble, you know that you can like link your Instagram so people know that you are a real person. And so I would get followers sometimes, you know, that maybe I didn't even match with or never met. And so at one point when Jasmine, you know, was talking about this guy and she had tagged him in a picture. He wasn't in the picture, but a picture he took. And I clicked on it and I was like, oh my goodness, like, I think this guy has been following me for a while.
And then can we say this? He had an Alabama A&M t-shirt on in his profile, so that made me think.
And that's where I went to college. Correct. So I'm like, oh, did he go there? And I forgot, you know, didn't know him.
Right.
And but he said to Jasmine, I just want you to know, in case it's weird, if your sister, you know, recognizes me. And first of all, I'm like, I don't know you.
She's not going to recognize you.
I'm not going to recognize you, sir. But, you know, it's like, I just wondered, and made me think, did he, because I saw that I had requested to follow him, I guess back, and then he never did.
His page is private for obvious reasons.
Yeah, and so it's because I post Jasmine a lot, and then followed her, and then I think like it was all kind of just, you know, he that's how he finds people.
Yeah, for sure. That's exactly, I think, what happened. He said again he worked at the hospital.
Right.
So now he's saying he lives in Lithonia. I live in Marietta, which is right by 75. It's a quick shot to. So he would come over and just say, let me just spend the night.
That's how it starts.
That's how it starts, right? And then I can get to the hospital faster. So, you know me, That's fine. So that's how it happened. So it went from spending the night sometimes to like then now it's just easier if I stay here. So then slowly he was moving shit in. So the kicker is when he starts to bring his daughter down.
See, that's where I started going like.
So that's when we start to get to another level.
And when his daughter was coming and saying, I kept saying like, that to me is where the red flags started to come. Because no child can be gone that long and hold a spot. You know, you're not going to hold a spot for them. And so that's when the red flags in my head started to go. Well, actually, let's be clear. Like the whole doctor thing, I was like, I feel like that's a reach. But that really stopped.
His daughter, beautiful. And let me say, I enjoyed her. Literally, that was probably the thing that kept us together was how I felt about her. Because I love children. I love children. So she started coming down. So what used to be a weekend
would come like a week.
Would then turn a week.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, it was 2 weeks. Okay, so now understand, at this point, I just started a new job. I'm gone all the time.
Yes.
I have a new role that's extremely demanding. Like... all the time on the call, like extremely demanding.
Yeah.
And so then now he brings his daughter down again, which I love, but then here I am making provisions for his daughter and him, right? So he says he has to go to work, so then who's keeping the baby?
Jasmine.
So then he goes to work, and again, he stays at the hospital, right? So he has long hours. So then he's not coming back to like the next day.
I did not know about this till later. Had I known that, I would have like...
So supposedly he works late on Thursdays. I would love to know who he was spending Thursday with, but I'm sure it was somebody. So I would come home, he would leave, dressed up in his doctor's stethoscope, like the hospital badge, be very clear. It's not like he just said he was a doctor, he had the whole getup. Hospital badge.
That's commitment.
No, it's commitment. It's true commitment.
He committed.
So, gone till the next day. So I'm up, I still have to go to work. So I'm giving the baby a bath. I'm feeding her. I'm doing her hair. I'm putting her to bed and, all this type of stuff. I'm literally, team too much. I'm mama number 2.
Hashtag team too much.
During this time is the first time I kicked him out, which was when she was there, which I felt really bad. Felt bad about. So here's what happened. So here's how it happened. Okay, so here we are getting to good stuff. So here it is. When I'm in a relationship, I'm open. As Mazar explained, I do too much. So I'm an open book. I take my passcode off the phone.
Oh, you do that?
Yeah, I do all of that. Because I don't want anybody saying I'm cheat. Like, I'm an open, I do too much.
I did not know
I know, yeah, I do.
We're going to start working.
It's fine. It's not a problem. So I don't do it anymore. So I took my passcode off the phone. Like, he has full range. Like, I'm not hiding anything. I go to work, come back. Like, I'm the best sister, wife / girlfriend, maid, babysitter in the entire world. So every time we would be at home, he'd be on his phone like this. And I mean like non-stop. Like we couldn't watch a show together, nothing. And so when I would talk to him about it, he would say his job is really stressful.
Of course.
So, and in a social setting, bitch, he was social.
But not when he came around our friends, like me and our friends, he wouldn't.
Well, because he was trying to hide, right? But when he was at the bomb, he's working the room, talking to everybody, this, that, and the third. But when it's just me, him, and the baby at the house,
he's too busy.
In his phone, constantly. By this time, stuff wasn't adding up, but I could not put my finger on it. And let me say this. I recorded a lot of video while me and him were together, which, do I ever do that in relationships?
No.
I never record me and whoever I'm with. But something was always off. And I could not figure out what it was. So, he, dumb as hell, doesn't have a code on his Apple Watch. I went through his Apple Watch. I saw where a girl had sent, and it was more than one. So, let's just say maybe 2 at this time. Who was messaging different girls. And one girl specifically was just ripping him a new butthole about, you just left me, you left the 3 kids here, like the kids, are asking for you. And he was telling them, I'm going to come back and just, tell them what happened. She's like, we were supposed to get a place together, like all of this stuff. So in my head, I'm thinking, Okay, so this is either an old girlfriend he's not with anymore,
right,
and she's feeling some type of way, right? I'm not thinking like it's happening right now, right? I'm thinking like
you're thinking this was the past,
maybe in the past. So as I'm scrolling through, I see other messages from other girls, same time frame. So he's in Georgia, but he's telling these girls in Virginia he's going to move in with them next month. Okay, well, how are you doing that if you're down here in Georgia with your daughter? So I was just smidget confused. Ask you what it is, and you either tell me what it is, I believe you or not. So the baby was there, and I found those messages, and I was hot. So as I come home, because I was texting him about it, and he said something super slick, can't remember what it was at the time. I came home, skirt, and I threw all of his stuff out the drawers, threw the baby stuff, put it in boxes. You gotta go. The baby's like right there. You gotta go now. Like, you gotta go right now. He pulled me in the bathroom and started crying. Tears.
Classic narcissist.
Tears.
Psycho.
I'm sorry. Please, I don't mean it. Like, I love you. Like, it's not like that. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, blah, blah, blah. So I said, okay, you fix that. I'm going to give you a chance to fix it. Because, again, here I am giving him the benefit of the doubt.
See,
Benefit of the doubt.
You should have been like,
give him a chance to fix it. You fix it, you know what I'm saying? And then I said, listen, I understand if girl, because I'm from Atlanta. Or not from Atlanta, but I've lived in Atlanta for a long time. And I know most of these men aren't anything, but a lot of these women too pressure you and they want to hang on, and I understand that too. So I said, if that's what it is, just tell me. Like,
you're just giving though too much of the
I'm giving him too many outs, but I'm giving him the benefit. That's just who I am. I can't help it. That's just who I am as a person.
Nope.
Who I was as a person. So that was the first time I kicked him out. And let's say it happened a few more times. We find out things like he came down with a Jaguar, went up to take the baby, came back, he had a Mercedes truck. So I'm like, where'd this come from? He's, oh no, I just had it at the house. He supposedly has a house in VA or DC that his sister has. Blah, blah, blah. Go to Walmart while he's in Walmart, because again, something's not adding up. I pull out the glove compartment. The tag is registered to a whole different female. Like a whole different female.
That you don't know about.
That I don't know who this person is. So second time, confront him about this. Who is this person? This, that, and the third, you know, all that type of thing. Well, she's just someone, you know, who likes to do stuff for me. She knows I'm in med school. She just graduated from med school.
Just a woman who loves to spend her money on other people.
Apparently. And
I wish I knew her.
Me too. And she just wants to help me out, etc. Okay. So I let that go for a little bit. And because, again, I know something's not right in my soul. What does Jasmine do? Look her up on Facebook.
Of course she does. Instead of just kicking him out.
No, because I want to hear what she has to say, right? I know, it doesn't matter. But again, benefit of the doubt. Benefit of the doubt. This is the old me, not the new me.
Lordy.
So, call her, and I say, hi. No, you don't know me. My name is Jasmine. I'm dating Khay. He's riding around in your cars and saying that, he also had a credit card with her name on it. So he was paying for certain stuff, and I realized later it had her name on it. So the name on the credit card he had matched the name on the car. So clearly I called her. I want to know who she is. Hi, this is Jasmine, blah, blah, blah. Call her and talk to her. She says, I don't believe you.
Of course, because he has everyone.
I don't believe you. So I show her video of his clothes, like send her pictures and messages. Why would he do that? I now understand I did this when he went to work.
But what were you trying to prove, I guess?
Before, if I knew something in my head but I didn't have concrete proof, I wouldn't move on it. My feeling or my intuition, I didn't trust myself enough at the time to just go off of that.
You know what Mom used to say?
What part?
She would say, if you think he's cheating, he's cheating. So you don't need your woman intuition's telling you that. So you don't need the proof. Like, just let it go.
I was on a journey. That was the old me. I didn't have any concrete proof. So I called her because from woman to woman, I wanted her to know that her card was being used in Georgia, right?
You wanted to tell her.
I wanted to tell her, hey, he's saying that this is what it is. I wanted her to tell me what it was. So I let her know who I am. I'm not rude. I'm not crazy. I just said, hi, my name is Jasmine. I'm dating Khay. You know, he's using your card in your car. I just want to make sure that, you know who I am, or that we have some type of understanding. I'm not sure what your relationship is. I don't believe you. He loves me. I don't believe you. I said, well, I have no reason to lie. I just, want to know kind of what's going on so I know how to move. Well, and she wouldn't tell me anything.
No.
It's crazy how he has a hold on these women. His gift of gab, for those who want to believe him,
yes,
is great.
Yes.
So by the time I hung up with her, she calls him. He skirts all the way back to Marietta. Now, I should have clicked in my mind. He clearly is not working at a hospital.
Because you can't leave in the middle of the day.
You can't just leave right in the middle of the day.
Especially when you're a resident.
Right, and then stay. Right? So he came back hot. Why would you call her? Like, why would you do that? And I said, just tell me who she is. Like, just be honest and tell me who she, just be honest. You don't have to hide anything from me. We're all grown. Put it out on the table. Tell me who she is. And then that's when he said, she's just someone that really, likes him and wants to help him. She said she wanted to help him no matter what. And clearly from talking to her, I believed it. Because she wanted to hear what I had to say. So clearly she wants to help him was what I got from it.
But you didn't get, though, that when she was like, he loves me, is that this wasn't just wants to help him. Like, she's in love with this man. She doesn't believe you because she feels like
100%. But again, at that time, I surmised at that point, she doesn't want to know. She doesn't care to know. And she's not.
Then that would be my exit.
I understand, but you're not me.
I get it.
Okay.
I get it.
So, did I kick him out then?
No.
Probably not. But let's say there's other instances that happen. I'm not, because it's going for forever.
Oh, I do want to add, though, that me and my friends.
I'm going to get my coat.
Okay. What? We did do some digging. But he had scrubs, he had all that. So we're like, okay, well, what?
And a badge, a hospital badge.
So we look up the name that he gave Jasmine. There was a man, a doctor, with that name in urology, but there was no picture. So if he did his digging and realized, okay, this doctor doesn't have a picture, so let me use it, but
taking stories where he's walking around a doctor's office. So again,
he committed to the con all the
Listen, he could apply himself to an actual job or an actual line of business that he does. If he can apply himself that way to the way he's frauding people, he could be
successful.
A millionaire. Get them teeth fixed and everything. Wouldn't be a problem.
All right.
So, into Thanksgiving.
Okay, I was very against it. And as our great-grandma Hattie used to say, if you can sleep with him, I can sit by him. And I live by that, right? Yeah. But there was something in me that just could not sit by him because I felt like, why are we doing this? And Jasmine's like, you just need to, and
again, this is important. This is an important part piece. This is an important piece, guys. Yes. I defended him. I was like his bodyguard. To anybody that may second guess him,
riding for the wrong person.
Ride or die.
See, that's wrong or indifferent. That's not ride or die. I got a lot of questions in between the ride or die.
I don't have no questions.
Jasmine don't have no questions. She's just
I'm gonna go with you. I'm gonna trust you.
I talk too much on the way, so I'm gonna be like, no.
So where are we going? What highway?
Going to Thanksgiving. So our family, we're going to
super close.
I don't take a lot of. I
shouldn't take anybody.
They met one boyfriend that I had, and that was on accident.
Yeah, he's at graduation.
I'm gonna work on myself too. Right. And then, so. To me, it was more like, we're going to bring this fraudulent man. It was like bringing a robber into a bank and just like letting him just go crazy.
That's a great analogy. Great analogy.
So anyway, Thanksgiving,
surprisingly.
This was Thanksgiving 2019. 2019, yeah.
He didn't say a lot. Actually. He did not.
He was very quiet all the time.
He runs his mouth all the time. But when he gets around people who he probably knows he can't finesse, he gets super quiet.
Oh, and let's say he did go outside with our cousin. When Mark comes back in, we're sitting in the
Now, I don't remember this piece, and I may have removed it from my memory. But
yes, it was like me and our Uncle Bob, who we love.
Bobby Joe, OG Bobby Joe.
And Jasmine, and he comes in and he's like, Deb, how long you known him? And so Uncle Bob, though, had met Khay previously and felt like he was
Uncle Bob was the bullshit, too. So
yeah, and so Uncle Bob believed him. He was like, a bullshitter knows a bullshitter, right? So I feel like he was saying all these things to Mark, and Mark realized, like, this is not
fraud as hell.
Fraud, yeah.
So we get back from Thanksgiving, and I want to say we got into a little tiff there. I'm sure we did. I can't remember, but here's where it ended. Where it ended was maybe the weekend after Thanksgiving. He again wants to go to a game night. So let me say this. He has new friends every 10 days, okay? Yeah. So by this time, this has been maybe about almost a year, I've had enough. So for me, I'm social a little bit. Yeah. I'm not like socialite Megan. I don't really like meeting brand new people. Like all of my friends have been my friends since 7th, 8th grade. And since I've been here in Atlanta, maybe 19 years or so, my friends have been my friends for 10 years or longer since I've been here, right? If they haven't moved. So my friends are friends that I've known for a long time. I have solid relationships. So we were going to meet a whole nother group. I did not want to go. I didn't want to go at all. And I had an attitude. He was supposed to come and get me, let's say about 9 o'clock. He didn't come back from wherever he was till 11 p.m. So again, another sign. So then we go to whoever this house is. I have no idea who it is. My friend Jemiah, hey Jemiah, texts me about 11:30 at night. She lives in Houston, so she's an hour behind. We're riding there, and because I have an attitude, he thinks Jemiah texting me is clearly some type of man. Guilt. That's his guilt.
Yeah.
So as we were riding down, we were, he didn't say much. We get to the party, and I'm going through Instagram. He put on his stories something like, bitches may not be cheating, but they know who their next nigga is.
That's a lot.
A lot.
And you're right there.
And I'm right there.
He wasn't even trying.
No, he wasn't trying. So by the time we're at the house, I have an attitude. In me, I do not raise my voice in front of people I don't know.
Doesn't.
I will excuse myself and leave.
Yeah.
Like, I have no problem going home. I go to my car to go smoke, and he comes up, you leaving? He has to ask. So I'm smoking in my car. Right. And you could have asked me that instead of coming out here accusing me. You had an attitude. Says, you didn't even want to come. No, I didn't. I didn't want to come, but So we go through all of that. I thought we finally leave. We exit early. Get back to the apartment. I was driving. He gets out, slams my car door where the door shakes. So by now it's probably like 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. We're at the parking lot. So I walk over to him. I said, do not slam my car door. Because what are you going to do? Hit me? You going to hit me? Now, right then, I realized, I said, you know what? This motherfucker crazy. For any man to want me to come out of character. Yeah. To make him feel better or to prove his point. Yeah, he was trying to push me. But listen, you can't push me. Like, I manage my emotions. You can't do that. So next day, I wrote him a note because here's the thing. He told me his mom died of cancer, and that because he has abandonment issues, every time I leave to go to work in the morning, I must write him a note.
That is so controlling.
I wrote him a note. I wrote this bitch a note now he's sleeping right there, and I'm coming back. But I would leave a note every single day.
That is so controlling.
So I left him a note this time, and I said, you can get all your shit and go.
First note would have been like, I'm never leaving a note.
You can get all your shit and go. You must leave. I would prefer you to leave now, but again, here I am being nice. I know you don't have anywhere to go, so I'm going to give you a week. You can stay here for a week. I gave him a week. And then you go, it didn't last that long. So
I would have put his stuff outside.
What happened after that? Fellow Brown Bama boy, Antonio, called me over. He hadn't seen me in a long time. We don't see each other too often. So he wanted me to come over and say, hey, which I thought was a great opportunity because understand all the times he had been gone and all the times I was babysitting his child and he had left me in the house, I literally had not been anywhere.
She would barely even come.
I would barely come see Megan. If I came to see Megan, he was coming with me.
Yeah, which I didn't want.
So understand, I had been in the house. Yeah. Like I ain't gone out with any friends. Like everything revolved around him. Antonio wanted to shoot pictures. I go to Antonio. We shoot pictures. I didn't tell him where I was going. I just told him I was going to be out. Like he tells me he's going to be out and doesn't say anything. So I went out. I came back, Antonio, we took pictures, hung out, had a good time. I come back maybe about 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. Now, he's not there. And that's typical of him because he wouldn't come back to like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, sometimes 10, noon, whatever the fuck he felt like it. So I go to sleep. He's still not there. Of course, I stayed out on purpose. Comes back and I'm sleeping. And while I'm sleeping, wake up!
Ow.
Wake up!
Ow.
Where were you? What were you doing? I was like, hell, did you take pictures? You were adding to, yes, I was. I said, why did you see them? Are they cute? I thought Antonio had posted them. And he was like, no, you didn't tell me where you were, and goes off about me being gone. Now understand, he came in 4 hours after me.
And you didn't ask him where he had been.
He came in 4 hours after me. But then he's yelling at me about where I was. That was the last straw. So at that point, I think that day he finally went to sleep about 7 and slept on the futon.
Yeah.
So while his ass was sleeping, I got 3 big old trash cans.
Which should have happened like a year
It happened
ago.
a few times ago, but this time I was serious.
Yeah.
I took all his stuff off the hanger and I put all his stuff in a bag. So when he woke up, already packed, bitch, you can go.
Good job.
He was really upset. Didn't like that very much. So, of course, he leaves. He's not keen on letting me go. So, New Year's Eve, I'm, again, watching fireworks. He is blowing my phone up. FaceTime, message, like, now we're not together.
No.
But FaceTime, message. I wasn't answering.
Yeah.
And then he goes on the baby. The baby's trying to, it's 1 o'clock in the morning. So, I know the baby's not calling me, but it's fine. So, eventually, I ruin my night and answer the FaceTime. And here he goes. Of course, I'm a whore. And then I'm all these things. And if I was going to be out, I should have just told him. I'm not his bitch. I don't have to tell him anything, okay? So, we go through all of that. So, finally, he leaves me alone. When he had talked so much about the baby, I felt bad. Here I go feeling bad. So, I reach out to the baby's mother. And I said, I know you may not know me, but again, just like I did with the other girl, my name is Jasmine. I dated Khay. Khay told me that the baby was asking about me. And understand, me and this baby built a relationship. She was going home talking to her mama about me, okay? So it wasn't like we just spent 1 or 2 nights together. We had a full relationship, okay? So texting the mama to let her know, please, her daddy is crazy. Can you just please explain to her when I'm no longer there that I do love her, I miss you, that type of thing. The baby mama proceeds to say, yes, of course, absolutely. She talks a lot about Jasmine. I told him that you're clearly a nice girl. He should go out with you. And he told her I was his coworker. We're not together. I'm glad you reached out because he had just asked me to marry him last week. And I
forgot about that.
And I prayed to God for a sign. I was like, well, maybe this is your sign. So after we had talked a little bit, she was on my level. Like, I understand, I'm calling him Kyle, type of stuff. So then clearly he talked to her maybe 2 or 3 days later. And then she decides to send me another message back about how as a woman, it is my responsibility to know who I'm with. I should not be laying up with some man I'm not married to. Like, she loves him. They're going to be together. That's her child's father. And she wants nothing but the best from him. She doesn't want to be included in anything. Like, I don't know what he told her. But when I say she proceeded to dress me down about what I should not be doing. And I told her, I said, I just want to be clear. He said some horrible things about you as well. So he's not completely truthful. And I sent her a couple things. I don't know why you're doing that. Just like the other girl.
Yeah.
So I said, you know what? You're right. You're absolutely right. It's my bed. I lie in it. Not a problem. And let me show you how God and karma work. So this is how I found out who he was. I am sleeping in my bed, minding my black-owned business, okay? And I get a call from Instagram. It's like 10, 11 o'clock at night. I went up to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night, and I see that the child's mother has called me in the middle of the night. So So then I sent her a message back. I said, oh my God, I missed this. Are you okay? she proceeds to tell me she's looking for her child.
I knew this day was going to come.
The baby had not been to daycare. He was supposed to drop her off at daycare like Tuesday. Now, understand, it's now Thursday, so I don't know how she lost 3 or 4 days of her child.
She's probably thinking he was going to bring them back.
Again, just like me, giving the benefit of the doubt. So, the daycare called her. They're going to let go of her, whatever benefit she has. She's going to lose all her stuff. Yeah. Exactly. If the baby doesn't come by, and he doesn't care because he's not paying. So, at the time, he had told me he was paying for everything. He does her health. He does the baby's health insurance. He covers the baby mama. He pays for the baby's daycare. Like, again, he's telling me like it's... She asked me, do I know his address? And I said, I don't. I know that he was staying with me, but we're not together anymore. Right. So he's staying with his sister. I don't know her address, but I'm sure I can get in touch with somebody who knows where he is. She said, okay, good, because I'm at his address in D.C. with the police, but all the lights are out. And I said, D.C.? I said, he's not in D.C. I said, his sister is in Lithonia. Mm-hmm. She said, where's Lithonia? In Maryland?
Mm-mm. It's not.
So here...
We need to do a map because it's like D.C.
So here my mind is starting to connect all those text messages that are not starting to... So I say, no, look, I'm in Georgia. She said, excuse me, what? I said, I'm in the state of Georgia. I live in Marietta. He is in Lithonia.
And I was like, I don't know how he is bringing that kid across like 4 state lines and staying with some, not that you're random.
No, I am random. She doesn't know me. I'm random. Thank God I'm a good female.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I am random.
He could have put,
her in danger.
Yes.
So she had no idea I was in Georgia.
Right.
So now she's scared.
Mm-hmm.
She's crying, and now all that stuff she was dressing me down about 2 days later. I talk about karma. You don't have to get anybody back. Mm-hmm. Karma is perfect. It comes right on time. Your hands are clean. You don't do nothing about it. Mm-hmm. So by now, she doesn't know where her daughter is, and he is not answering the phone. So she is really concerned. She wants her daughter returned to her. So... I still have that emotional string with him. So then I start texting him.
Why?
Because I'm trying to find the baby.
Well, I get that, but I would have been like...
When I say emotional string, I mean I can pull his emotions.
No, I know what you mean by that. But I would have just been like, girl, that's you.
I know, but again, it was a baby. I don't know where the baby is. I don't know who the baby is with, right? So just like he threw the baby on me, he probably threw the baby on somebody else. I don't know. Right. So... I reach out to him and I tell him some lie or whatever. Long story short, eventually he brings the baby back. Okay. Mm-hmm. So what happens after that is that's when the child's mother reaches back out to me and then starts to tell me the truth. Now here's why it's dangerous and why I'm doing this, because he has people around him who still know him, but I don't even know what they just support him or don't do anything.
They won't like
give him a pass.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. I know maybe in her case because she has a child with him, but it's
she knows. I mean, she knows that who he is.
Correct. Well, I'm gonna tell. So she asked me, what name did he give me? I said his name is Khay. She said no. She said, did he tell you he was Kenneth, Ken, Khay, or something? Well,
that's the problem to me, is that she knows all his aliases. So she's like...
Well, hold on. I don't know if I tell you this part. So I said Khay. And so she was like, okay, that's not his name. His name is Kenneth Leon. What? What do you mean that's not his name?
Yes.
And I said, he was with his sister. She's like, well, what does his sister look like? I said, I don't know. She's, I'm describing her. I said, well, here's a picture. That's not his sister.
Right.
I said, it's not?
No.
She was like, no, he tends to do that. He just makes friends and then calls them family. Okay. And she goes, and also, where did he tell you he works? He's a rest. She said, no. She said, when he was up here, he went to Georgetown and graduated in, I think she said surgery. He was in surgery when he was with her. I said, oh my gosh. I said, I don't even know who, I don't even know who I'm dating. And I was like, then we bonded again, right? Trauma bonding. My mom passed of cancer. I said, well, what, does he have any family? She's like, yeah, his mom. I said, excuse me?
His mom's alive.
His mom, she told me his mom is still alive.
Surprise.
She just doesn't talk to him, clearly. And
anybody exhausted yet? This is a lot.
She also told me that she actually did not know his real name until after she gave birth. Mm-hmm. So the reason why this message is
at least he told her.
I don't think he told her. I think she found out.
How do you have a baby with somebody that you don't? Well, I guess it happened.
I dated him.
Yeah,
I didn't know who he was. So of course he would have a baby. So at this time, I feel completely violated. Mm-hmm. Who is in my house? Mm-hmm. What is his kid's name? Mm-hmm. Like the people around him, like his sister and then his, best friend and brother and all these people that said they knew him for a long time. Like, do they know who he is? Like, do they know his name?
Probably not.
So again, I can't remember exactly how this started, but I think I reached out to his best friend's girlfriend. So I said, hey, did you know ABCD? No idea. The sister, no idea. Didn't know that his real name was Kenneth Leon Foster. She thought his name was Kay. They were calling him Kay, so when I call him Kai, her boyfriend would be like, is your name Kay or Kai? Again, should have been I didn't think.
That should have been.
He was like, it's Kai. He was like, well, how you had me calling you Kay all these years and that's not your name? He was like, I just don't correct people. Which he had prefaced it and said some people call him that, he just doesn't correct them. And I'm from the South, right? So so again, he gets ahead of any possible mountain that could happen. So he's already laying out the story.
10 steps ahead of the
correct. So if the shit comes back, which he knows it will, he's already set the foundation. So you already then put in your head, okay, that's why he told me, right? A, B, C, D, E, F, G. I reached out to his sister, who's not really his sister. Also told her, and then that's when we did some digging. So I'm going to end it with this, and then you guys can do your own research. The LA Times, Chicago Tribune, and a couple others have written an article about him. He has been doing this since 2003 at least. That's documented.
I don't know how he is still out.
So in the paper it talks about, and I'll put the links and stuff below so you guys can check him out if you want to in message boards. So he said he was a Kappa. He's not a Kappa. Never been a Kappa.
I know. Okay, yeah. And let's say, because, I went to Alabama A&M. A lot of my friends are Kappas. And he showed up in a Kappa sweater. A vintage Kappa's like the red with the button down. The K. And I was like...
Y'all, he committed to this and ordered other shirts. So it was never a Kappa, and there was a message board from 2003 where they had caught him, I want to say maybe in North Carolina, like coming onto the yards and trying to go to Kappa events. At that time, right, we didn't have Instagram, I think, and Facebook like we do now, so they had to rely on message boards. So he got ran off the yard at one place. The news articles in the Chicago Tribune and LA Times talk about when he went to USC. He, charmed his way onto the campus.
Living in the dorm.
Charmed his way to the dorm, told this guy that, he was having an issue at another dorm with his roommate. They felt bad for him. Trauma bonding. Felt bad for him. Super personable. He slept on this guy's couch in his dorm.
Yes.
Made plans to room with him the next year.
Yes. Went to class.
This fool went so far as go to class. Took tests.
Yeah.
Said he was on the track team and went to practices.
It's insane.
Like, he fully committed
to everything.
To the role. How he got caught at USC was that when he was at North Carolina, either Pembroke or another one, he stole a girl's car.
Yes.
And so he messed up in giving them his sister's real name when he was talking to his friends at USC. So something didn't make sense for them. So just like Megan and her friends, they Googled him, but he messed around and gave them his real sister's name.
So they Googled
So
her.
it led to him, right? That's how they found out he had stolen the car. They called the police, and then that's when he got nabbed for the car. He pled guilty. And all of that.
Run. He has open warrants.
Yeah, because he has a warrant. So then I think he stole something in Georgia. That's how he got here. He has a warrant here. He's on probation, but he is out. He is out. He currently has a new girlfriend who I had the pleasure. I didn't get to tell you this. Pleasure of speaking.
That's my surprise face. I did not know
Pleasure of speaking to yesterday.
Did you tell her?
She didn't listen.
Where does she live here?
Yes. He's in Lithuania with her.
Living with her.
With her.
We should tag her.
I don't know. I talked to him because I'm a real one. So Megan doesn't know this yet. So I was going to give him an opportunity to explain himself because I knew he wasn't going to explain himself. But I wanted him to try. Again, he can't say that he didn't know I was putting this out, right?
Yeah.
So I didn't want any issues when I put this out. So I reached out to him, let him know that I was having this story time about him. He sent me a message very politely saying he would like to tell his story. So I said, fine. I gave him till 8 o'clock because you're not interrupting my me time at 8 o'clock. He never reached out to me. So it's not a problem. So I went on about my business. I think then what had happened, I had posted the first part of the story time on TikTok. If you've seen that, if you have that, you've seen it. And this, in true narcissistic, sociopathic fashion, he liked the video about him.
Of course he did. Because he's getting press. He lives in...
He does like it.
Good
he loves it.
He
does. It was yesterday, Saturday. So Saturday night, up doing stuff, working on my website, Brown Bama Girls.
Oh, Brown Bama Girls. Shameless plug.
And I started getting these notices from TikTok. So he made his own video.
That's another surprise face. I did not know
and
that.
Tagged me in it. And said...
Wait, on TikTok?
No, on TikTok. I'm going to show you. Tagged me in it. And then was talking about how clearly I want attention, I'm desperate, I'm pressed, all the normal things people say. So he had did this around midnight. So because we had missed our call time, I know these are his peak hours. So he sent me a message 23 minutes ago, and the last message was 3 minutes ago. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna just FaceTime him. Why not? We're not going through this on TikTok. I'll just FaceTime you. I'll just go ahead and record you. FaceTimed him and I recorded it. So
I'm learning this too. This is great.
That'll be shown now. And then what he did again in true fashion, because remember, all the girls in his life who he's been with were his bodyguards. So because he would not or could not answer me, he put his girl on the phone.
Oh, this gets better.
And
what's her name?
I can't remember.
Oh, okay.
It's not that.
I can't wait to see it. I'm gonna see it first.
And she lost her shit.
Oh.
And I think though, and it's fine. She can listen.
With you or
why would she lose it with him? And that's another thing why I did this video. Women, we have got to start holding these men accountable, and that's another reason why I did this video.
That is one of my biggest pet peeves, just as women, is that we will get mad at the other girl and not at the dude. Like, we need to be coming together. Like, look.
Like I was talking to the first one when I called her.
We need to come together and realize, okay, we got the same stories.
Right.
He clearly is.
Now, understand, I don't know her. So I wasn't including her. My conversations were with him. So he kept saying, well, do you want me to call? Do you want me to call? And I said, add any bitch you want to on here. If you want to, that's fine. But my questions are for you, right? Like, I'm not going to ask her a question about you when I'm talking to you. If someone is coming into a relationship and you ask them, because I do tend to ask them that, like, what happened in your last relationship?
And it was all bad on the girl.
It's all their fault. They have no responsibility.
It's going to be
They have no accountability for anything. It's woe is me, and then she did this, and then I'm that. And even me in this relationship, I will say I'm not perfect. I miss signs. I wasn't as strong enough person to be in this relationship. I can hold accountability for the stuff that I did 100%, and I'll answer to it because I'm real as hell. So I have no problem owning up to my shit, right? Him, on the other hand, he deflects. When you ask him a question, then he wants to turn around and then ask you a question. No, my dude, like what? And then what got me too is that Saturday morning, he on Snapchat, he put in the thing, I can't wait to get off work because I'm gonna take a nap and then do an interview with my ex. Now, why would you put that out there? You're a felon on the run who doesn't use their real name, and then you're gonna say I'm gonna do it. So you clearly wanted the interview. So that's why I called him. All of that said, guys, I'm not scoring. I'm not mad. And the very last thing I do is want him back. I'm much happier seeing that next girl suffer. And I'm not mad at her for being upset and calling me ugly, which we clearly know I'm not. But you know, she's defending what she thinks is hers.
I mean, you have to think you defended him.
Absolutely.
Like,
and then,
when I would talk about you defended him tooth and nail.
Absolutely. And how vehemently we help him.
Yeah.
So we as Black women, because we are trying to hold everything together, we're so good about trying to help somebody out. Not everybody needs help. When you're 30-something years old, you have the same 24 hours and 7 days a week everybody else does.
I'm not fixing nobody.
No, she's not. The point of this, though, guys, is that when your intuition tells you something, you don't need any concrete proof. So my lessons are that I don't need concrete proof to prove my intuition correctly. No, if something feels wrong, whether if it's a wrong interpretation, but it's still how I feel.
Right.
My feelings are valid enough, or your feelings are valid enough, where you need to move the fuck around and you don't need to give anybody any excuses. Hit the door. You feel what I'm saying?
Let him go.
Let him go.
He ain't gonna change.
He's not going to change. He's been doing this since 2003. Oh, here's the other thing. Real quick, because I think this is funny and this is a good point. He has introduced himself to her as his real name. So that was his point. But you know why he had to do that, don't you?
Why?
Because I outed him out to everybody. So his sister, she now knows who he is because of me, right? His best friend's girlfriend.
Right. You told everybody.
So now everybody knows his. Everybody at the bomb knows now his real name, right? So he can't go on saying he's Khay because this time last year, exactly,
that has to die.
That story has to die. So this time last year, everybody was talking about it, right? So now everybody in his circle knows, so he can't go around now saying he's Khay. However, on his handles on Instagram and Snapchat and TikTok, he's still shown as Khay.
Right.
So he's telling her. So it made her feel he was introduced to me as Kenny. He didn't tell me he was a doctor. He didn't have to do all that. Buckle up your seat on this particular roller coaster, bitch, because you're about to go up and down and through it. And then I'll talk to you in about 6 months or less when you get to the end of that ride.
So he's moved into her house.
Where else are you going to stay?
That's true. Well,
this is story time, guys. Be on the lookout for the next video of my conversation with him. It's round and round circle, merry-go-round we go, right?
Oh,
so if you have the tolerance and you want to see that circus, feel free.
I'm just myself excited.
See, it's amazing.
This is great.
This is
like popcorn time.
I know. So guys, this was my story time about Khay, Kenneth Foster, Doktor Khay, Dr. Nish. I'm gonna put all the links so you'll be able to.
There is a real man.
Research the name he used at USC, so you'll be able to see the article on that. I'll post a link to the chat boards, so you'll be able to see the conversation. It started off as just him being a Kappa, and then other people, of course, recognized him. So then it goes down a rabbit hole, some more about him. So I'll post all of that so you guys can read it if you are interested. If you still think he's an amazing guy and you want to give him a try because you don't believe me, I have no ill will against that, baby boo.
Who would want to
listen, people are doubters and they think I'm a hater. Believe I'm a hater, go through it, and then come back and holler at me later when he's done using you up. You don't have to believe me. It's just my story. What the hell do I know? Any last words, sissy?
Oh, that was a lot, guys.
It was a lot.
But I think it's just one of those things. I feel like this happens to a lot of girls. They don't say anything.
It does.
So I'm proud of you.
Thanks, sissy.
For being honest, because I think a lot of women aren't.
And that's how he's gotten away, right? A lot of women don't say anything. They keep it quiet. Just like his last girlfriends are not going to say anything. Maybe they feel ashamed, which I understand.
Have to be honest.
You have to hold each other accountable.
Because, these guys don't stop. They keep going. So I am all about holding somebody accountable.
All about uplifting our sisters. Even the ones that cussed me out. It's fine. She was upset, and that's fine. It's 3 o'clock in the morning when he should have been home. She was waiting in bed just like I was. All them nights. So guys, I appreciate it. Thank you for hanging out with us for this story time. We do sell hair and accessories, so feel free to visit brownbamagirls.com. We are also on Facebook as Brown Bama Girls, TikTok, and Instagram.
We're going to start doing shirts.
Want to start doing shirts and things like that. It's not necessarily that you have to be from Alabama, but the thing is that basically everybody's roots are from there, right? So it's about celebrating us brown Bama girls who get up every day, get it out the mud. We may not have access to certain things like the big city does, but we still make a way. So it's about celebrating us and celebrating all the brown Bama girls before us who made a way for us so that we're able to have this platform, and we're very thankful for. So shout out to my friends, family, love you guys, and
Hi guys.
see you at next story time.
Bye.
We're rich bitch tendencies, nigga. Fuck is you talking about, ho?
So Millie shit. If I was, they never should've fucked up and gave me money. Came straight out of Bama, now ain't shit funny.